Hey guys, I'm back. This is part 2 of my story. Um, so I've been really freaking lazy, so I'm just doing this off the top of my head. So wish me luck. So we're gonna jump into it. When we left off, I was just getting out of 5th grade, and I was really scared, that if I did not perform my expectations, that it was gonna be a life risk for me. Um, so because I was being chased around the house with knives and like everything that happened before, like I felt like I was powerless, that I was not worth anything. So going into middle school, like this is when people finally start like being more interested in the opposite sex. However, that was not exactly the case for me. I found girls attractive, um, and like that's mainly because part of my sexuality, but I was really worried. There was this girl that lived down the street a little bit. I had a crush on her, and my brother decided to play the supportive brother role to gain my trust again. He would call it therapy this time instead of the thing, it was called therapy. And he would teach me how to have sex with a chick. So, that all happened. But that pretty much subsided at the end of middle school. And when I went into freshman year of high school, I think it was towards the end of freshman year, because I had this camping trip with Boy Scouts. I had gotten a phone call from and in Boy Scouts, like, a lot of that stuff happened. We called it the nervous game in Boy Scouts, but yeah, a lot of that happened. It happened with the older guys, the younger guys, the variety of stuff I saw in Boy Scouts. That's a whole nother story that I'll keep for another time, but that's kind of a part of it. But because of what was happening in Boy Scouts, there's this one kid I was friends with in Boy Scouts, and well, I got a call from a friend of his, pretending to be like a guy that helps with like cop working and stuff. And, I'm 14, so I answered the phone. And he was like, "Is this Callahan?" And I was like, "Yeah." What's go what's going on? And he started asking me personal questions about who I had sex with the first time. And I lied and said that it was someone in Boy Scouts. Dude knew that it was a lie. He was like, "No, I'm talking about before then." And so I went and told him about what happened in first grade. And he was like, "No, I still don't think you're telling me the truth. I know that your brother molested you." And he pretty much told me that he knew everything that had happened in my family, when I was growing up. And then he got my brother on the phone, and my brother apologized to me. And like, we had a long fucking conversation, but he was messaging me on Facebook later that day. My mom had taken my phone away, so that's why the guy had to call our house phone. At the time, I still felt like I was indebted to my brother, being the reason I lied to the guy in the first place. I also felt like he deserved my forgiveness, even though I wasn't truly forgiving him. So when he was apologizing, I was like, "It's whatever, like, you're good, like, we're brothers anyway, like, no one's gonna separate us." Um, you know, my mom came home that night, was checking my Facebook messages, and we kept getting phone calls from the phone number that had called me earlier. So my mom went through my phone, saw a lot of the stuff that was happening in Boy Scouts, and she sat down and had a long conversation with me about how it's not right. that I should be accepting the experiences outside of what she thought that I was mainly going on the trips for. And she lost trust in me because of that. The following year, I was a sophomore. I went to rehab. I had crushes on plenty of guys. At this point, I was convinced myself that I was 100% gay. So I went to rehab, and before rehab, they take you to the ER to see if you're required or like if they can place you in inpatient or something. So, during that whole entire thing, I lied to them, or no, I told them the 100% truth. I was mad at my mom that day, but they asked me a lot of questions. One of them being was, have you ever been sexually assaulted? I lied and said it was some kid from Boy Scouts when I knew full well that that was not the person who it was. But still, I told them that it was that person so that my brother would be safe. Again, I just felt like I owed him safety at the very least. So after that, I went to rehab, finished that, and then I started junior year. I had a job junior year of high school, and I started becoming friends with the people there. I started smoking cigarettes, vaping with them. Which, you know, like, I have nothing against vaping or smoking. Like, if you want to do it, you do you. Just me personally, like, I still vape. Like, I'll vape any day, but I'm trying to not smoke cigarettes as much. And that was just kind of like the beginning of everything else that happened in my life. And like how the cycles continued to repeat themselves. This was just a part of the story. But yeah, so I started vaping and that got me into drinking. Started out with just shots here and there. Eventually it got to going to Target with a backpack with my friends. They would wait in the car. I would dip in, grab a bottle or two for all of us, and I would dip out, and we would get drunk. We started buying weed, smoking every single day. We would do acid, and we would try pretty much anything that was offered to us. But a good portion of my junior and senior year, I was high. It's a miracle that I passed, because a lot of the other things that I did after, because of how far my head was, the summer going into senior year, I downloaded an app, and there's so many memes and jokes about this app now that, like, talking about it, like, knowing exactly what goes on this app still, I downloaded Grindr, and I started hooking up with guys to make me feel like I was in power and that I had control over what was happening, when, in all honesty, they were getting what they wanted. I was getting what I wanted to cope. And that honestly led me to a lot of unhealthy relationships, later, which I can get into, but, yeah, I think that's what I got for this week. I think for a song, I don't know. I really don't know what song I should sing for this part. So if any songs come to mind, let me know in the comments below. I've just been having a really stressful week. I will update you guys about that eventually. Things are looking positive in the future. It's just the subtle, like, loneliness right now. So if you like this video, leave a like. If you want to subscribe, see more of my content, please do that, because I love you all. And comment what songs you guys think I should do for my next video. Yeah. Sorry I was unprepared for this video. It was not my intention. There's just so much going on right now. But I love you all. Have a good day. Bye.